Simple Tales presents Padmasambhava Tames the Mountain Spirits, a Tibetan Buddhist legend. Have you ever wondered whether the greatest victories are won not by defeating our enemies, but by transforming them? Many believe that darkness must always be destroyed. Others believe fear can only be overcome through force. But the old storytellers of Tibet believed that even the wildest spirit can become a guardian when met with wisdom instead of hatred. This is the story of Padmasambhava Tames, the mountain spirits. Long ago, when the snow-covered peaks of Tibet seemed to touch the heavens, the land was feared as much as it was admired. Its mountains rose like silent giants. Its valleys echoed with icy winds. Ancient forests disappeared into mist where few dared to travel. The people believed every mountain, river, and cliff was home to powerful spirits. Some protected travelers, others delighted in frightening them. Storms appeared without warning. Bridges collapsed overnight. Pilgrims vanished upon lonely passes. Entire villages whispered that unseen beings ruled the high places. Many monks wished to spread the teachings of compassion throughout Tibet, yet every attempt seemed to fail. Temples cracked before they were finished. Prayer flags vanished from the hillsides. Even sacred fires refused to stay lit. People said the mountain spirits rejected every effort to change the old ways. Far to the south, news of these troubles reached the great teacher Padmasambhava. Some called him Guru Rinpoche. Others simply called him the Lotus, Born One. It was said he carried no army, no treasure, only a walking staff, a vajra, and a wisdom deeper than the sky itself. When asked why he wished to travel into such dangerous lands, he smiled. No heart is beyond awakening, and no spirit is beyond compassion. His journey took many months. He crossed rivers on rope bridges frayed by winter. He climbed paths where even eagles would not fly. Snow fell around him. The winds howled. Yet he continued without complaint. One evening, he reached the highest pass before entering the hidden valleys. As the sun disappeared, the mountain itself began to tremble. Dark clouds swallowed the stars. The earth shook beneath his feet. From the storm emerged an enormous spirit. Its body was carved from black stone. Its eyes burned like molten fire. Its voice rolled across the mountains like thunder. No one enters these lands. Turn back. Padmasambhava bowed respectfully. I thank you for your warning, but I cannot leave. The spirit struck the ground. Great boulders crashed down the mountainside. I command these peaks. I command these storms. I command fear itself. Padmasambhava remained perfectly still. The storm obeys you, but does your own heart? For the first time, the spirit hesitated. No traveler had ever answered without trembling. Furious, it summoned blinding snow. The wind became so fierce that ancient pines bent nearly to the ground. Ice filled the air. Still, Padmasambhava neither fled nor fought. Instead, he quietly sat upon a flat stone, closed his eyes, and began to meditate. The storm raged through the night, yet the snow never touched him. The winds circled around him as though unwilling to disturb his peace. When dawn arrived, the spirit found the teacher exactly where he had been, calm, smiling, unafraid. The spirit stared in confusion. "Why do you not fight me?" Padmasambhava opened his eyes. "Because you are already fighting yourself." The spirit roared. "I protect these mountains. You protect your fear of losing them." The words echoed through the silent valley. The Great Spirit looked toward the snowy peaks it had guarded for countless centuries. "I was born before the first temple. I watched kings rise and fall. I have frightened armies. I have driven away strangers. My duty has always been to defend this land." Padmasambhava nodded. "And who protected you?" The mountain spirit closed its burning eyes. Memories returned like old pain. Armies had climbed its slopes with fire. Hunters had killed for pride. Kings had carved roads through sacred valleys. Every stranger had wanted something. None had ever asked whether the mountain itself had suffered. For countless ages, it had known only suspicion. Every traveler arrived carrying weapons. Every hunter sought trophies. Every conqueror desired control. No one had ever come simply to understand. Padmasambhava slowly stood. "I do not ask you to abandon these mountains. I ask you to protect them in a better way." The spirit looked uncertain. "What would become of me? You would remain exactly what you are. A guardian. But a guardian is not measured by how many it frightens. It is measured by how many it protects." The winds grew quiet. Snowflakes drifted gently through the morning light. Sunlight broke through the clouds for the first time. Hundreds of prayer flags hidden among the cliffs fluttered gently together. The spirit slowly knelt before the teacher. Its fiery eyes softened. Its body of black stone became streaked with shining crystal. The darkness had not been destroyed. It had been transformed. Padmasambhava gently touched the spirit's forehead with his vajra. "I ask for no surrender, only a promise." The great guardian bowed deeply. "From this day onward, I shall protect all who cross these mountains with honest hearts." Word spread through every valley. Wolf spirits, lake spirits, guardians of glaciers, spirits older than forgotten kingdoms. One after another they came. Each arrived ready for battle, each expected to be conquered. Instead, Padmasambhava listened. He heard their fears, their loneliness, their ancient purpose. One after another, they accepted new vows. The spirits who had once frightened pilgrims now guided them safely through blizzards. Those who had hidden springs now revealed them to thirsty travelers. Even the wind seemed gentler. At last, temples could be built. Prayer wheels turned without interruption. Monasteries rose upon cliffs that had once been considered cursed. Yet, the old mountain guardians were never driven away. Their images remained carved beside temple entrances. Not as enemies, but as protectors. Many generations later, pilgrims climbing the high passes still tied colorful prayer flags to lonely ridges. They believed the mountain guardians carried every prayer upon the wind. Some travelers claimed that during fierce snowstorms, mysterious figures sometimes appeared in the distance. They never spoke. They simply pointed toward the safest path before disappearing into the mist. The old storytellers of Tibet never claimed that Padmasambhava defeated the mountain spirits. They believed something far wiser. Hatred may force obedience. Fear may create silence. But only compassion can transform an enemy into a guardian. The greatest victory was never over another heart. It was over the fear within his own. Thank you for listening to Simple Tales. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more timeless tales from around the world. Until next time, may every mountain before you become a path rather than a barrier.